You may not watch my videos and skip my content because you don't like my appearance or because I'm black. You might even be distracted, chasing after your urges, appetites, and desires. But I'm talking about what's most important on the planet. As you can see here, the global pattern of economic exploitation and systematic destruction. While you scroll past uncomfortable truths, the most critical issues of our time demand attention. The profound hypocrisy of Western nations, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Ukraine, Poland, the United Kingdom, and their allies, orchestrated by the United States, reveals itself in their arrogant presumption to dictate global governance, while simultaneously pillaging the very nations they claim to democratize. The uncomfortable reality. You'd rather ignore these countries systematically extract resources from developing nations, particularly across Africa, stripping away gold, diamonds, oil, and minerals to fuel their own prosperity. They then package this exploitation as necessary for global stability and democratic progress, creating organizations like NATO and economic partnerships that serve as sophisticated mechanisms for continued resource extraction. The African exploitation model. While you're busy with distractions, across the African continent, European powers maintain neo-colonial relationships that mirror their historical colonization. They establish partnerships for prosperity and peace, while simultaneously extracting billions in mineral wealth annually, leaving local populations in poverty despite sitting on vast natural resources, installing puppet governments that prioritize Western interests over citizen welfare, creating economic dependencies that prevent true sovereignty, the pattern of destruction, targeting Black economic independence. This is what you need to understand, regardless of how you feel about the messenger. This exploitation becomes even more sinister when examining the systematic destruction of Black economic empowerment efforts worldwide. Historical precedents you won't learn in school. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, 1921. A thriving 35-block economic district with 600 businesses, destroyed by white mobs with government complicity. Burkina Faso under Thomas Sankara, transformed from one of the poorest to most self-sufficient African nations in 4 years before his assassination in 1987. Libya under Gaddafi, achieved the highest standard of living in Africa, with free healthcare, education, and housing, before NATO intervention led to his death and the country's collapse into chaos. The strategic intent behind the destruction. These aren't isolated incidents, but deliberate strategies. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, whenever Black communities, whether in America or globally, demonstrate economic self-sufficiency and independence, they face systematic destruction. The pattern reveals a calculated effort to 1. Prevent economic self-determination. Independent Black economic systems threaten the extractive model that enriches Western nations. 2. Maintain resource access. Prosperous Black nations might demand fair compensation for their resources. 3. Preserve racial hierarchies. Black success contradicts the supremacist narratives that justify continued exploitation. Why this matters more than your comfort. Understanding this historical pattern is crucial for recognizing why projects like a better Black Wall Street face resistance. The same powers that destroyed Tulsa's prosperity, assassinated Sankara, and destabilized Libya will oppose any effort toward Black economic independence. You can continue scrolling, chasing temporary pleasures, and avoiding difficult conversations. But while you're distracted, these systems of exploitation continue destroying communities, stealing resources, and perpetuating global inequality. The truth: you can't escape this reality doesn't diminish our mission, it clarifies it. We must build with full awareness of these historical precedents, implementing transparency, community ownership, and spiritual grounding as protection against the forces that seek to maintain their wealth through our continued economic subjugation. The hypocrisy isn't accidental, it's institutional, and our response must be equally systematic. Complete economic independence rooted in community control and divine guidance. So while you judge the messenger, the message remains. The most important issues on this planet involve breaking cycles of exploitation that have persisted for centuries. Whether you choose to engage with this truth or continue your distractions is up to you, but the work continues regardless.